Discover the treasure that's in your own backyard at Crystal Springs Resort. It's the perfect way to escape your daily routine with luxury spas, award-winning golf, fabulous dining, mineral sports club, and so much more. Even treat yourself to an overnight stay for that special occasion. Great recreation and world-class amenities. It's all right here in beautiful Sussex County at Crystal Springs Resort.
Attention athletic directors, high school coaches, youth recreation directors. Too busy on the field to worry about your insurance? Put D&H Alternative Risk Solutions into the game and let us give you peace of mind for all your insurance needs. D&H will provide you with A-rated insurance for your leagues, teams, sports clinics, summer camps, and rec programs. D&H will give you a one-page quote, saving you time. Let D&H provide you with a no-obligation quote today. D&H Alternative Risk Solutions, local insurance for your local athletic program needs. Call 940-1851 or visit risksolutions.com. Vernon Vibes is brought to you in part by United Water, the official water company of Vernon Township. United Water, involved in the communities they serve.
Welcome to Vernon Vibes. It's great to be back with you. A lot has happened since our last visit together, and so let's get right to it. As I like to do, I like to start our program off dealing with the community calendar and things that are happening. And you may recall that in our last edition of Vernon Vibes, I called to your attention two very important dates, and so I'd like to do it again. Actually, the first is this Saturday, April 27th, from 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. at the Township DPW garage on Church Street. The Vernon Animal Shelter will be offering free rabies shots for your pets. Free rabies shots. Very important that your animals have rabies shots because it's a requirement of licensure. And so I would like to again just call out to you that that's Saturday, April 27th from 10 a.m. to 1. The telephone number, if you have any questions, is 973-764-7751. I'll be there with my dog, and I hope that you will be too. In addition, Sunday, the 28th, is one of the biggest days of the year in Vernon. Vernon Township will be, in fact, celebrating Earthfest. And the Earthfest celebration has been an ongoing program here in Vernon Township. It's sponsored by the Vernon Chamber of Commerce Charities, and the major purpose, of course, is educating people about our environment and ways to protect it. But a secondary objective of Earthfest, is to raise funds for the Vernon Chamber of Commerce Charities scholarship funds. And as the program has evolved, those scholarships are becoming more and more valuable to our youngsters as they seek their secondary education after graduation from Vernon High. So it's this Sunday, April 28th. It is at Heaven Hill Farm on Route 94 in Vernon. It's where we've had it for the last several years. The facility there is great. There's plenty of room. It's a wonderful day, and usually thousands of people come by to see Vernon and what Vernon Earthfest has to offer. So I encourage you to join me there. I will be there along with other members of your governing body, and there are some tremendous educational displays. There are displays by local businesses that have services and materials to offer that, in fact, enhance the environment. So I want to invite not only the people in Vernon, but all of the people who watch Channel 10 and who by chance have surfed to the Vernon Vibes program to come on out and visit Vernon on Sunday, April 28th. Our Earthfest is at Heaven Hill Farm. It's going to be a tremendous day, as it always is. A few other things, activities that I want to call to your attention. On May 4th at 10 a.m., the Vernon Historical Preservation Commission will be placing a historical marker at the Cedar Crest Farm on Route 515 in Vernon. The Historical Preservation Commission serves a very real purpose in identifying historic locations, both buildings and cemeteries and other locations in Vernon that are important to our heritage and are worth preserving for future generations to tell the story of Vernon's history. And we do have a long and colorful history in Vernon Township. And so I'd like to encourage those of you who have an interest in the history of our community to join us on May 4th, 10 a.m. at the Cedar Crest Farm on Route 515 in Vernon. It is an operating farm that has been in the family for now almost 5 generations, and we are very pleased to add it to our list of historical places in Vernon Township. One other announcement that I'd like to make is not so much in terms of events, but Newton Memorial Hospital, the Newton Medical Center, which is part of the Atlantic Health System, as many of you now know, is absolutely in need of volunteer services. And so you can make a difference. At the Newton Medical Center, the volunteer program is open to those over the age of 18 years old. Volunteer services are centered toward customer service and hospitality, complementing the quality of care provided by the staff at the hospital. Volunteers work an average of 4 hours per week with flexible schedules available. Days, evenings, weekends, all those kinds of assignments are available. So if you're interested in learning new skills and making new friends, and you take pride in knowing you're providing a community service and making a difference in someone's day, I would ask you to contact Newton Medical Center at 973-579-8370, and you will be guided as to how to become a volunteer for the Newton Medical Center. I'd like to encourage all of us, all of you, to, in fact, offer some of your time. Volunteerism is the backbone of this community, and it does extend beyond the borders of Vernon, as, of course, you know, Newton Medical Center, with the closing of the St. Clair's Hospital in Sussex, has become one of the major primary care providers. And, of course, Newton Medical Center is the owner and operator of the Vernon Urgent Care Center, which provides us with every day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, medical attention and care for our residents. So I encourage you to take part. Anybody who's interested, please reach out, 973-579-8370. We'll be back in just a minute.
Discover the treasure that's in your own backyard at Crystal Springs Resort. It's the perfect way to escape your daily routine with luxury spas, award-winning golf, fabulous dining, Mineral Sports Club, and so much more. Even treat yourself to an overnight stay for that special occasion. Great recreation and world-class amenities. It's all right here in beautiful Sussex County at Crystal Springs Resort.
Vernon Vibes is brought to you in part by United Water, the official water company of Vernon Township. United Water, involved in the communities they serve.
Here we go. Welcome back. As I also like to do in each of our sessions, I like to share with Vernon residents the activity that had taken place at the most recent town council meeting. As I think most of you are aware, I normally record this program on the Tuesday morning following council meetings, and this week is no different. At last evening's council meeting, actually, it was a rather light agenda in many respects, but one of the highlights was a presentation made to the council and the public by the president of the Vernon Historical Society, Jesse Palladini, which outlined all of the programs and all of the things that the Vernon Historical Society has provided to this community over the some 43 years that it's been in existence. Educational programs, restoration of historical cemeteries, actually recovering them from being completely overgrown and abused and destroyed, like the Decay Cemetery in the north end of town. Of course, the maintenance and the responsibility for the Black Creek site, as well as serving as friends of the Way Beyond State Park and historical properties that are in that area. Our Historical Society is an active and vibrant organization. And as many of you know, a year or so ago, through the auspices of this office and the cooperation of the Vernon Township Board of Education, we were able to provide the society with a home on Route 94 next to the Dunkin' Donuts, which has been turned into a very vital and vibrant facility for the society as well for as the people and the youngsters in Vernon Township. This year's budget, we saw fit to make available a $5,000 grant to the Vernon Historical Society, and some people have asked me what was our thinking. It's really very clear. The Vernon Historical Society serves as the archivists for historical records of this community and is in possession of many of the township's minutes from as far back as the 1800s. That needs to be preserved, and it's the wish of the majority of the council, who voted 4-1 for this year's budget, to in fact see to it that the Vernon Historical Society continues to thrive and continues to grow and continues to offer the kinds of programs that they have offered most recently. The attendance, for example, to the Those Are the Days series, which have been held in the Senior Citizen Center here in Vernon Township, has been outstanding. Most recently, the topic was Vernon Volunteer Services, and it was a history of the ambulance and fire companies in Vernon Township with pictures and presentations and individuals who were there at the beginning. So the kind of work that they do is great. The presentation that was made was very, very informative, and we were pleased to have that presentation done by the president of the society, Jesse Palladini. In addition, those of you who watched the last issue may know that there was a question as to fireworks for the 4th of July. I want to assure the people in Vernon that the Vernon Fire Company and the Highland Lakes Fire Company will be indeed holding their community fireworks this year on Saturday, July 6th at the Lonsbury Hollow School. And while I know it seems like it's a long way off, I want to encourage all of our families to support that. It's one of the main fundraisers for those two fire companies. Yes, the township does fund the equipment that the fire companies use to a large degree, but running a firehouse is more than just having the equipment and the like. There's gas, there's oil, there's electric, there's heat. There's a whole myriad of other issues that the firemen still fund on their own. And so I want you to know that this year, the Highland Lakes and Vernon Fire Companies will again jointly present for your pleasure and enjoyment on the 4th of July weekend, that being July 6th, the spectacular fireworks display that we've all come to know and love over the last 15 or so years. There was a question as to whether or not there would be a conflict with a program that is being contemplated by Mountain Creek for their guests at the resort over the weekend. That situation is in fact in conversation between Mountain Creek and the fire companies, and I am confident that a mutually acceptable resolution to that situation will be forthcoming in the future. So for the time being, the application from Mountain Creek has been tabled until a result can be achieved that everyone is happy with.
Discover the treasure that's in your own backyard at Crystal Springs Resort. It's the perfect way to escape your daily routine with luxury spas, award-winning golf, fabulous dining, Mineral Sports Club, and so much more. Even treat yourself to an overnight stay for that special occasion. Great recreation and world-class amenities, it's all right here in beautiful Sussex County at Crystal Springs Resort.
Vernon Vibes is brought to you in part by United Water, the official water company of Vernon Township. United Water, involved in the communities they serve.
There were two ordinances that were passed on first reading at last evening's meeting, and I call them to your attention because while in the total of things they may seem to be minor, it is the beginning of what I think will end up being a very, very important activity of this government. As you know, in July of 2011, when this mayor and council took office, Vernon Township was in receipt and the holder of tax sale certificates on some 400 parcels of property throughout the township that people had ceased to pay their taxes on, and hence the township was in possession of those tax certificates. After consultation with the council early in our administration, we made a decision to use the offices of the New Jersey Land Conservancy to do a profile with the help of Councilman Rizzuto, now Council President Rizzuto, and Councilman Dick Wetzel, who visited, walked, wrote descriptions, and took pictures of every single one of those 400 parcels over the last 2 years, provided that information to the New Jersey Land Conservancy under the leadership of Sandy Ergo, our consultant, and we have developed a program whereby we are foreclosing on those properties, taking title to them, and making them available for purchase at very reasonable rates. The two ordinances to residents, the two ordinances that were passed last evening are the third and fourth instance of individuals coming forward and indicating a desire and a willingness to buy those abandoned lots and add them to their property because they're adjacent to the prospective buyer's property, adding them back to the tax rolls. Now, I know that 4 parcels does not make a landslide, but every journey starts with the first step, and people are beginning to realize the value of buying those adjacent properties, adding them to their own for their own added space and added use at a very reasonable rate, and we are beginning to see the fruits of our labor as this program moves forward. For the record, of the 400 parcels that were in a state of tax certificate in July of 2011, we have successfully foreclosed on 80 of them, and they are up for sale at the present time. There are 54 other parcels that are going before the New Jersey State Superior Court. Some of those parcels are of interest to other entities in government, and I anticipate being able to share with you some success in adding to the Wawayanda State Park maybe and the Wildlife Refuge on the west side of Vernon Township. And when that happens, of course, we will see a very positive net cash flow back to the community. So that really was the juxta and the crux of last evening's meeting. However, there was a discussion that took place as part of my mayor's report, and I want to share it with you. A couple of items that are very important. One of the individuals who had public comment last evening was concerned that somehow or another the senior housing project in Vernon had stalled and that in fact it was not going to happen. None of that is true. So let's take a couple of minutes to give you a quick update. First, as you will recall, upon announcing that we were going to seek senior affordable housing in Vernon Township to be built by private enterprise, we were very clear that there were obviously several hurdles that had to be overcome. Not deterring, just taking time because of the kinds of permits and the kinds of things that had to happen. One of the things that I was instructed by the council to do was to open negotiations with the principals as to what role the COA money, Council on Affordable Housing money that is collected by Vernon, would play as an incentive in enticing the individuals to in fact move forward with the project, and of course what would that do in terms of making affordable housing available to our seniors. That agreement is very near conclusion. There are still yet a few things that we're working on that have more to do with the state law in COA and the distribution of low income, middle income, higher income senior housing. That's all set by state and federal regulations. But I want to assure the senior citizens in this community that that project is moving forward and that the owners are very, very serious. We anticipate their presence before the Land Use Board in Vernon for approval for their project in the near future. I can't say a definitive date because many of the things that by way of permit and by way of commitment for water, for example, from United Water and the like, all are still being negotiated. But the important thing that I want to say is senior housing, senior affordable housing will be available in the town center of Vernon Township before I leave office in 2015. I'll be back in just a minute.
Discover the treasure that's in your own backyard at Crystal Springs Resort. It's the perfect way to escape your daily routine with luxury spas, award-winning golf, fabulous dining, mineral sports club, and so much more. Even treat yourself to an overnight stay for that special occasion. Great recreation and world-class amenities. It's all right here in beautiful Sussex County at Crystal Springs Resort.
Vernon Vibes is brought to you in part by United Water, the official water company of Vernon Township. United Water, involved in the communities they serve.
Welcome back. Additional parts of my report to the council last evening included the report that we are in fact acquiring 2 more police cruisers for the Vernon Township Police Department. That would bring to 9 new cruisers that we have made available since the advent of this administration in July of 2011. We have settled on the Ford Interceptor SUV. It is an all-wheel drive vehicle. We bought 2 of them last year. We compared them with the Crown Victoria sedans. We compared them with the Dodge Durango all-wheel drives. This Ford Interceptor SUV is pursuit rated and is superior in every way to the other vehicles. What it really will allow us to do is to have 1 police fleet instead of 2, which is what we've had here for many, many years. All of you know that during the spring, summer, and fall, the police officers always relied on sedans. Some years Chevy, some years Dodge, some years Ford, excuse me, and maintained a fleet of all-wheel drive vehicles to be used during the winter. In essence, this new vehicle that has been on the market from Ford now for 2 years alleviates the need for that kind of division. And so it is our intent as we move forward to replace retiring police cars with this type of vehicle. I know that you've seen them. You may have wondered, what make or whatever. I can assure you that our police officers rate them high. They're good on gas. They have plenty of power and plenty of room. And we'll be adding 2 more of them to our fleet. And we will be retiring some of the old 4-wheel drives that are now beginning to require a tremendous amount of maintenance to keep them running. In addition, the council will approve and we will be implementing the new CAD loss-off program for police reporting and dispatching in Vernon Township, and that will be a tremendous asset to our productivity in the police department. I'll be back in just a minute.
Discover the treasure that's in your own backyard at Crystal Springs Resort. It's the perfect way to escape your daily routine with luxury spas, award-winning golf, fabulous dining, mineral sports club, and so much more. Even treat yourself to an overnight stay for that special occasion. Great recreation and world-class amenities. It's all right here in beautiful Sussex County at Crystal Springs Resort.
Attention athletic directors, high school coaches, youth recreation directors. Too busy on the field to worry about your insurance? Put D&H Alternative Risk Solutions into the game and let us give you peace of mind for all your insurance needs. D&H will provide you with A-rated insurance for your leagues, teams, sports clinics, summer camps, and rec programs. D&H will give you a 1-page quote, saving you time. Let D&H provide you with a no-obligation quote today. D&H Alternative Risk Solutions, local insurance for your local athletic program needs. Call 940-1851 or visit risksolutions.com. Vernon Vibes is brought to you in part by United Water, the official water company of Vernon Township. United Water, involved in the communities they serve.
Welcome back. As you know, we're fast approaching primary election season. And in Vernon Township, in the new form of government, there are no primary elections for municipal offices. However, there are 3 council members who are up for re-election this year and who will stand for re-election in November, that being Council President Pat Rizzuto, Councilman Dick Wetzel, Councilman Ed Dunn. Now, I'm not certain if they're running or they're not, but one of the things that always happens at election season is sometimes things get a little crazy. And I would like to think that there's no hidden agenda, but I have to address a quote from Councilman Dan Kadish in the April 10th issue of the New Jersey Herald in regard to the 2013 budget. I cannot allow that kind of comment to go uncorrected. I'm referring to the quote in which Mr. Kadish is quoted as saying, "A lot of the capital projects are being back-ended to either the tail end of his term or beyond it," referring to my term. Nothing could be further from the truth. Absolutely nothing. I'd like to think that Dan didn't understand the capital budget program that the state requires us to submit with our budget, but I have to wonder whether or not there isn't a political motivation. There's no question that Dan and I have been political adversaries in this community from day one. He's the only councilman that refuses to talk to this mayor any place but in public meetings, because I assume he feels that that's the way to do it. That's fine, but it causes a situation where, unfortunately, he's not well informed. And as a result, the rest of the council members who do in fact communicate with this office and who do seek information and who, when they have questions, raise them, and there is a tremendous communication between myself and the other 4 members of the council. Unfortunately, Mr. Kadish it isn't the beneficiary of that. I've offered many, many times, but he chooses not to avail himself. I cannot allow that kind of misinformation and that kind of misstatement to go unrebutted. This government is paying down your debt. This government is decreasing your property taxes for local purposes, and we are increasing the cash fund surplus. For the first time in Vernon's history, we are back to a road project that will address all of our assets, all of our owned, and you've heard me say it, secondary and tertiary streets that have been ignored in this community for far too long. That project, that program, that plan will indeed be spread over the next 6 years. It has to be. We are investing $880,000 in capital programs this year, and the intent is to continue to do that. I know full well that we can afford to do that without raising your property taxes. We have an excellent finance plan and program in place. It's been recognized by bonding services. It's been recognized by the state of New Jersey, and in fact has been recognized by our auditors and professionals alike. The kind of misstatement or misinformation that was published in that article is a disservice to this community. I thank you. I look forward to seeing you at our next issue, and I invite you all to come out and participate in our town council meetings.